If you've been struggling to lose weight while maintaining your performance as a triathlete, then you're not alone. The weight loss plateau is a real thing and it can drive you mad. I recently worked with a triathlete, and let's call her Lara, who couldn't shift a single kilo for years despite dieting, until we changed a few key things. Over the next 4 months, Lara lost 8 kilos without starving herself or wrecking her training. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 6-step plan we designed for her and how you can use the same approach to get leaner, stronger, and faster. It feels natural to jump straight to the end goal, losing weight. But before I changed a single thing in her diet, we started with a conversation. Not about calories, but about why she wanted to lose weight. This is something that most triathletes skip because they jump straight into how quickly can I lose weight instead of asking, why do I want to lose it? For her, it wasn't about chasing a number on the scale. It was about feeling lighter and stronger on the run and being more confident in her kit. When you understand the deeper reason behind your goal, everything else becomes easier and it gives you more things to focus on throughout your journey. And then you need to make your final goal realistic. It sounds boring, but it's where most triathletes go wrong. So hear me out, because this is perhaps the single most important thing I see having worked with triathletes for the past 6 years. They set goals that are way too aggressive. They want to lose weight quickly, and that's fair enough. But when it's unrealistic, they either feel bloody awful while losing weight, or they don't hit their goal and then they feel like they've failed. That frustration can easily spiral into giving up, or turning to extreme diets that might work short term, but wreck your energy, your training, and your relationship with food. Think of it just like setting a training plan. If it's too hard to stick to, it won't get you anywhere. So when you pair setting realistic goals with the other steps in this video, you are in a super strong position to lose weight the right way. Once we'd set realistic goals, the next step was to understand what she was actually eating through some sort of tracking. Now, this triathlete didn't want to count calories, and that's okay. Tracking doesn't have to mean logging every gram in Chronometer or MyFitnessPal. What matters is awareness. You can use apps, or you can use a paper or electronic journal. In this case, the results were fascinating. The little things that she knew might have been a problem, but it wasn't until tracking that we really got to understand her diet. Large portion sizes, biscuits when they were available, comfort snacking in the evening. These small details were adding up to hundreds of calories unaccounted for every day. But it wasn't just about spotting these things and then labeling them as mistakes, because there is so much more to it than that. Tracking helped Lara learn what meals kept her full, what foods worked well before training, and what triggered her to want to eat more than she needed. That awareness alone is a major step forward, but insight only goes so far if you don't understand what's holding you back. This is where we dug into what was actually in her way. A step many triathletes skip. If you don't understand your barriers, you'll never overcome them. For Lara, it was a mix of time pressure, inconsistent training, and portion control. She was juggling work, family, and triathlon, and sometimes dinner was whatever she could throw together in 10 minutes. We talked about simple strategies to reduce friction, like prepping quick lunches for busy days, planning recovery snacks ahead of time, and keeping easy, satisfying snacks around that still hit the spot. Sometimes the problem can be fixed by something as simple as better planning. Once we'd removed the big obstacles, we built a nutrition baseline. This was essentially Lara's starting template, so a way of eating that matched her training. For some athletes, I'll use calorie and macronutrients. For others, like Lara, we simply designed balanced meals using familiar foods that she could then scale depending on her training volume. The key was making it personal. Some people prefer small meals and snacks. Others like 3 bigger meals a day. Some are vegetarian, some are vegan, some eat everything. It doesn't matter what your diet looks like. What matters is that it's sustainable. If a plan cuts out all your favorite foods or demands unrealistic prep time, you're not going to stick with it. So instead of throwing out everything she was doing, we made small tweaks to her existing meals, adjusting portions, increasing protein, and being mindful with snacks. Because what I've found over the years of helping triathletes with their nutrition is that they typically follow a particular diet for 3 main reasons: cost, convenience, and comfort. If your plan doesn't respect those, it won't work for long. But even with the right plan, it's easy to slip back into old habits if the next 2 steps are not in place. The next phase of the weight loss plan was all about accountability. We had regular check-ins to see what was working, what wasn't, and where the next focus should be. Sometimes we'd review her goals. Other times we'd talk about emotional eating, late night snacking, or what to do when work disrupted her training routine. Accountability is the glue that holds all of this together, because no matter how good your plan looks on paper, real life gets messy. And from experience, even when everything's going right, there's always one moment that can throw it all off, and you need to be ready for it. I'll show you how to deal with that in a second, but before that, let's talk about what usually trips people up. Most triathletes don't struggle with knowing what to do. They struggle with doing it consistently when life gets busy or training changes. That's where having a little bit of structure and accountability makes all the difference. When you've got clear guidance each week, you stop second guessing every decision, and your nutrition actually starts to work for your training instead of against it. That's exactly what we do inside the Hub, my complete triathlon nutrition system built around community and coaching. I run weekly group coaching calls to review progress, fix challenges, and adjust your plan, so you keep moving forward even when life gets messy. It's the difference between having a plan on paper and having one that actually fits your real life. If you'd like me to personally help you with your nutrition, along with support from a community of triathletes working towards the same goals, you'll find the link in the description or comment section of this video. Even if you develop a fantastic plan, things will go wrong sometimes. You'll have weeks where the scales don't move. Life gets in the way or motivation dips. That's normal. Weight loss is never a straight line, and it's disastrous to think that it will be. It's more like the stock market chart. Ups, downs, little plateaus, and gradual progress over time. When things don't quite go to plan, the key is to reassess rather than panic. Ask yourself questions like, has my activity dropped off? Have my portion sizes crept up? And am I skipping meals and overcompensating later in the day? Sometimes it's just a small tweak that gets you back on track. And when you repeat this process, reflect, adjust, move forward, you build the skill set to manage nutrition for life. Lara managed to lose 8 kilos in 4 months without losing performance. In fact, she got faster. You can adopt the same approach yourself. And if you'd like to join the Hub and get your own individual nutrition plan and become part of the community, the link is in the comments and description of this video. But weight loss is only one part of the puzzle. Fueling for a race is a completely different game. I'm showing how I built a full Ironman nutrition strategy for a first timer in this video, and you can follow the same steps if you have a race coming up.